Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Megan, and this is a channel where I talk about life, cross-stitching, quilting, and now that it's warm out, a little bit of gardening. So it has been over a month since my last video, and I'll get into a little bit of the why in a second. So I'm going to start with the life update. If that's not your thing, I'll put in the description box the time, and you can skip to that time and get caught up in all things crafting related. So right before or right after my last Flosstube video, I was set to get on a plane with my daughter, who was almost 18 months at the time. And I was super nervous about managing her and the diaper bag and the super heavy, like 35-pound car seat, getting on and off a plane by myself. So I asked you to pray for me and send me your well wishes, and it worked, because for the first flight, there were 2 flights down and then 2 flights back up. So the first flight down, a kind older gentleman helped me. He saw I was struggling, and he was a parent or grandparent, and he said, you know, we've all been in that position, let me help you. So he carried it on for me, and then one of the flight attendants carried it off. And my daughter was awake the whole time that flight, but it was fine because she played, so not bad. Second flight attendant helped me with the car seat. She spent all of maybe the first 15 minutes in the car seat screaming her head off, because this was like hours past bedtime. She goes to bed like 6:30, and this was probably like 9 o'clock her time, and she's way past exhaustion. So I took her out the car seat, and I was just, you know, holding her and rocking her, and that worked, and she fell asleep. And so then she spent the rest of that flight in various positions all over my chest, sleeping, which was fine. I mean, who doesn't like baby snuggles? And she's silent, and so that was great for everyone around me. The flight back, I don't really remember any issues with that. It was early in the morning. She was awake, but she was fine. She played, so. And then I had flight attendants help me with the car seat. However, on my last flight down, I had so much anxiety about the dang car seat and finagling it in and out or on and off the plane, that when we went to get off of the plane, I had a feeling, something told me, check the seat back pocket. And then my brain said, don't worry about it, you don't ever put stuff there. False. I'll give you one guess about what I put in that seat back pocket. If you said cell phone, ding, 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 ding. I put my phone in the pocket and forgot about it. And I got off the plane, and I set the baby down, and I set all my stuff down, and I dug through the diaper bag looking for the phone, and I couldn't find it, and I figured, you know what, it's probably just really buried. And the flight attendants got off the plane, and the pilot got off the plane, and we all walked to baggage claim. So I meet my dad, he picks me up, we get in the car, I literally rip everything out the diaper bag, no phone. This is a lovely way to start vacation. So I call my husband. I am super upset. I'm not crying, but I'm just so aggravated and mad at myself, because cell phones are not cheap. They're like hundreds of dollars, and I did not have money to fork out for another cell phone. So I asked him what I can do. We go through a bunch of things. Long story short, because I flew in Friday night, the next flight on Saturday, the weekend flights don't leave as early, so it wasn't set to leave until like 11 a.m. So I get to the airport at like 7:30, explain what happened to the woman at the check-in counter. She gives me a guest pass. I go into the gate, and this lovely gentleman says, is this yours? And I told him, I said, oh my God, I could kiss you. Oh my gosh, the amount of relief I felt at that moment, you have no idea, because all my photos of my baby are on my phone. And I mean, I've uploaded them to Google, and I figured out how to lock my phone, but, you know, like banking information, all my passwords and usernames for various websites. So such a relief. So we go get my phone, then we go to the bakery, and my dad bought some king cakes for me because I have a huge sweet tooth. Mardi Gras is my favorite holiday, which we don't get to celebrate in Michigan. So if I ever go down around Mardi Gras, my parents always try to get me king cakes. So I picked up some king cakes, dropped my dad off, and then my daughter and I went to the quilt retreat, because remember, I was trying to surprise my mom and sister and grandma. And so I got there and I surprised them. I didn't quite get the reaction I was hoping for, so I'm not going to show any videos or anything. But they were all happy and loving all over the baby and playing with her and stuff. So that was a lot of fun. And technically I saw my sister previously when she was pregnant. She came down in like early September and told us she was pregnant. But she was only like 6 or 7 weeks. So this was the first time I actually got to see her in person with a huge stomach. She was like, I don't know, 32 weeks pregnant maybe. And she's petite. She is like 5'3"-ish. So it was fun. She's all belly. And now, like I mentioned, it's only like 10 or 11 days till her due date, and I'm so stinking excited. In fact, I'm buying my ticket today to fly down to see the baby boy in May, mid-May. So I'm real excited about that. Okay, next up. Oh, baby shower. That's the whole reason I went down there. So I threw my sister a baby shower. Holy moly, that was stressful because you want everything to be perfect. And I mean, I was doing things down to like the last minute people arrived, and so I went into the room and threw a dress on and had no makeup, but it's fine because she did the same thing for me like 2 years ago, so she knew what I was going through, but it turned out great. The theme was woodland animals, and remember I did the 3 cross stitches. I finished the bear, that was the last one I worked on. I did the deer, the raccoon, and the bear. And then my sweet mom, I just finished them in a hoop, so she stitched the fabric on the back of it together for me the night before the shower. And if I figure out how, I'll insert some pictures over here somewhere. But that was great. And then I let my sister keep the little animals to put in my nephew's nursery. So when I go down in May, if they're up, I'll have to take a picture to show y'all. And then the last thing is Happy Easter. 6 days late. So if you celebrate Easter, I do. And growing up, for our Easter baskets, my parents always just loaded us down with candy, and that was it. And that's totally fine because I have a huge sweet tooth. And my sister, as she got a little older, she became a vegan and vegetarian, so instead of candy, she wanted fruit. So instead of the big chocolate Easter rabbit, she'd get a pineapple and then like grapes or berries or just different fancy exotic fruits. But for my daughter, so last year she was like 6 months when Easter happened for her first Easter. So I don't know, probably got her like a little dress and a little stuffed animal or whatever. This year she is much more active at 18 months old, and we don't give her candy or any kind of sweets. We're pretty strict about what she eats so far. So I was like, well, what the heck am I gonna give an 18-month-old that doesn't eat candy? So I found some little alphabet cereal we got her, and then everything else was toys. I mean, it was stuff I wanted to get her anyway, so I just used Easter as an excuse. But she loved it. She got a baby doll, which she didn't have one previously, but I think she saw a picture of a baby, or maybe she saw a picture of herself on my phone, and all of us, she said the word baby, and I was like, she can say the word baby. And so I guess they have baby dolls at daycare, and she loved the picture of herself on my phone, and she keeps saying baby, baby, baby. So we got her baby, and it is adorable. She hikes it under her arm, you know, baby's head here, chokehold, carries it around the house. It was like the cheapest little baby because I didn't know if she'd be interested in it, and if she is, how rough she'd be. So it just came, it was like 10 bucks from Target. The little baby doll, and it has a little pacifier. So she puts it in and takes it out, and it's really cute to watch. So we did that. We went to my in-laws for Easter. I always make a carrot cake on Easter, so I did that. And it was just a really good time with family. So, okay, on to all the stuff you're here for, the Stitchy stuff. So, because of the baby shower, I was frantically finishing up the bear. And so for the first week of March, that's all I did was the bear. So I don't have that to show you. And then when I got back from Louisiana, like mid-March is when clinicals started. For anyone who's new here, I'm in nursing school first semester. So clinicals started. So that's Wednesdays and Thursdays. And then Wednesday after clinical, I have care plans, which literally takes me until I go to bed. Because it's like 20 pages long. So there is a little stitching happening during the week. So it's basically nap time and bedtimes on the weekend. With all that being said, I do have some progress to show you. So we're just gonna start with the least impressive thing here, which is the Christmas stocking, which I hope to have finished this Christmas. which is not going very well. But I threw away, I'm pretty sure I threw away the cover photo, so I don't have that to show you. It's a Dimensions Gold kit. It's just a huge Santa Claus. And so the part that I did this time, I filled in some here, and then I did this bit here. But honestly, it is not super fun because it's basically white on white, which is hard to see, and it's just not fun to stitch. However, I was watching Stitchy Fix, Victoria and Kris, and I love them. And if you haven't ever seen them, you should go check them out, because Victoria is just like a ray of sunshine. She's super happy, and you can't watch her and not be happy. But anyway, they do Christmas on the 25th, especially Kris. I know that she and her husband on the 25th of every month will watch some kind of Christmas movie, and she does Christmas stitching. So I was like, you know what? I need more than one day a month to get caught up on this thing. So I decided that every month, the week of the 25th, all I'm going to stitch on is that stocking. Okay, so I probably won't want to, but I am putting this out there so that you hold me accountable. I'm going to stitch on that stocking for the week of the 25th every single month, hoping to get some more progress. Okay, next up is... So this one I just worked on actually today and yesterday, and that's all I did. And that was my Mill Hill Winter Wonderland. So I am done all the stitching. All I have to do is add the beads. I say all I have to do as if it's a fast process, but it's not a fast process, at least not for me. So I have added all these beads. These white ones were here previously. So I added all of these blue ones, the dark blue ones in here. These light clear blue ones I added. And then it's hard to see because they're clear, but up here and then all along the top here, there are clear beads. So I added those. I still have quite a few beads to go, but I'm kind of in a rhythm here, so I think I'm going to work on this a little bit more and see if maybe I can finish it up. And then next, I watch AJ from AJ Stitch or AJ Stitches. I'll link her below. But she started the Scary Apothecary series by Hands on Design, I believe. Yeah, Hands on Design. And I loved it. And I had all the patterns already. My grandmother gave them to me for Christmas. So she motivated me, Lord, can't talk today, to get started. So I picked one. And the one that I'm doing is, let's see if I can find it. Skeleton polish. And I am taking some creative licensing because I cannot count at all. And I know that, and I double and triple count, and I still get it wrong. But nobody's gonna know that I can't count except for you and me, because when you look at it, you can't tell. So here is my progress. Oh, and by the way, this is brand new. So I hadn't even started this before my last video. I started this mid-March. So I've been cranking it out on this one. The fabric is... Oh, here we go. 32 count Silvery Moon Lugana. 32 count Silvery Moon Lugana. So I'm doing it 2/2. Yes, 2/2. Except the back stitching is just one thread. I'm using all the called for colors, and they are all Classic Colorworks. Yeah, Classic Colorworks. And I love it. I think it's super duper cute, and like the detail in it. So if you look closely, there's a skull there, and then all these yellow bits are the crossbones, and there's bones in there and bones up here. So I really like it. I think it's great. I'm hoping to have this finished by the time I film my next Flosstube. I don't think that will be a problem. And I'm actually doing all of them on this one piece of fabric. And as you can see, I don't know what the rule of thumb is, but I do not leave a lot of fabric on the sides. It's like on this one, an inch. I don't think that will be a problem. But I feel like the fabric is so expensive, I want to waste as little as possible on the back. So we'll see if that causes me problems later down the road. I have a whole bunch, I'm right here by my desk, and one of these drawers is filled with just notepads and notebooks that I bought because they were cute and never actually used. But I'm thinking I'm going to use one to keep track of all this cross-stitch stuff because I can't for the life of me remember the name of the pattern, the designer, the fabric, the stitch count, the colors, none of it. So when I film these, I can just open the journal and list out the details or put them in the description box instead of fumbling around every time. Okay, that is all for cross stitching. I do have a little bit of haul, actually, so I got myself my own Mother's Day present. Don't act like you don't do the same thing. You probably send your husbands links or draw pens or whatever it is you do. So I asked my husband, I said, hey, can I get this for Mother's Day? He said, sure. So I bought myself a couple of different cross stitch patterns. Like 3 or 4 were from Etsy, and then one was from 123 Stitch. It has not come in the mail yet, but I'm gonna save all that until my next video. Maybe 2 videos, because the next video should be at the end of April. And it still won't be Mother's Day yet, so I don't know. If I film at the end of April, I'm not going to show you for that video, but my first video after Mother's Day, I'll show you. But it is super sweet. I love it. And that part of the haul I can show you. So a while ago, maybe 2 birthdays ago, 2 years ago, my sister got me the pattern One Nation by Bygone Stitches. And I know it's kind of a popular one. I've seen some people finish it here or there. I heard of it, or I've definitely searched the hashtag on Instagram. And I was like, you know what? Everything I'm working on is Halloween, Christmas, winter. So I wanted something for the summer. And I had the pattern, so I needed to get the fabric and the floss. So for the fabric, I chose, let's see, it calls for 28 count cashel ale from Pictures Plus, which I did not get. I didn't follow any of those directions. If you can't tell by the Scary Apothecary thing and then this one, I'm a huge fan of light to medium grays. My entire house is painted various shades of gray. Most of my house is various shades of gray. So this one is 25 count pewter Lugana fabric. It's a big one because on 28 count, it's supposed to finish at 28.5 inches wide and 15 inches high, which is absurdly huge. So I went with 25 count because the holes are slightly bigger, and my goal is to do over 1, stitch the whole thing over 1. And then in that case, I forget what it comes out to, but it is a much more manageable size. I want to say like 9 by 14 maybe. And these holes are not really that small, so I don't really think it's going to be a problem. So that's that. And then I got, of course, the fancy floss to go with it. Now, my nearest needlework store is like a ways away. An hour. Somewhere between an hour and a half. And with a toddler and being in school, I just don't have the time to go over there. So I ordered the floss from 123 Stitch. But that being said, you know how things, you're kind of hesitant to order online if you've never seen the colors before because what's on your computer screen isn't necessarily what the colors actually look like. So instead of just ordering the called for colors, I ordered a couple of reds, a couple of whites, and a couple of blues. And then I just kind of, when they got here, paired them all up together and figured out which was my favorite combination. So the pattern calls for it says crescent colors on the back of the pattern. That's so not right. It's Classic Colorworks. Unless there's a company called Crescent Colors that I'm not aware of. Maybe in Britain, because colors is spelled with a U. Anyway, I got the 3 listed colors that all happen to be Classic Colorwork colors. And those were Cupid, Blacksmith Blue, and Antique Lace. And then the other colors I got to play around with were Ribbon Red, Navy by Weeks Dye Works, Grits by Weeks Dye Works. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little partial to grits because I grew up in Louisiana and grits is a huge dish down there, even though I don't actually like grits. And White Lightning, much more of a pure white. So I ended up going with 2 of the 3 colors that the pattern called for. I went with the Cupid and the Blacksmith Blue, but then I wanted to brighten up my white. The Antique Lace is a little too yellow for me, so I went with these 3. And I think they're really pretty. So we'll see. Now that I'm kind of like getting some floss and some fabric and patterns, I can see why people have like 35 whips. So I really want to stitch this. I am not delusional. I know this will not be done by the time 4th of July rolls around, but it would just be nice to stitch on something summery in the summer. So we'll see. I don't know. I might start it by the time I post my next video. I might not. I'm going to try to be good and not work on it. We shall see. Okay, quilting. So if quilting is not your thing, I'm going to do quilting and gardening and then just a little funny baby thing. So you can skip ahead past the quilting if you want to stick around for the gardening or the baby thing. But quilting, so I did the baby quilt, which I believe I showed you. If not, either way, I'll try to put in a picture here of me gifting it to my sister at the baby shower. And so I like to design my own quilt. So I designed the quilt, but I designed that pattern or that design and then another one, and I sent her a couple of different designs to choose from. And she actually chose the one that I made, but I guess it was so long ago that she forgot about it because she goes, I chose this? I said, yeah, you did. And I used my prized cotton and steel fabrics, which was hard to do, but it's for my nephew, and I think she really liked it, so that was special. And then I am also, so on Instagram, I love to make pouches, like little zipper pouches. I made a project bag back before, whoa, cross-stitching, so it's not a cross-stitch project bag, but it totally could be. Let me take whatever's in here out of, whoops, the bag. Okay, so actually I went on a little binge and I made quite a few of these 3 years ago, 4 years ago maybe. I made one for me, one for my mom, one for my sister, and then that year I was going to the quilt retreat that I just surprised my family at. And so they do door prizes and there's a like $5 limit. So I actually made a bunch of these and just rolled them up and stuck one in each bag. So a couple people got these, but here's my project bag that I made. You can tell it has the vinyl front, but I just loved that flower print. I like how bright it was. It's the same thing on the back. I didn't switch it up. And my favorite color is a bright green, so I used a neon green zipper. So yeah. Not the fanciest thing in the world, but I'm pretty proud of it. I'm dabbling with the idea of making some, throwing them in my Etsy shop. I don't know, but yeah, I love it. So, and it has the rounded corners, which I like. It's a little different than all the regular rectangle ones you see. So anyway, all that to say, I like to make zipper pouches and zipper bags. And a woman I follow on Instagram, her Instagram handle is seemingly.sane. So seemingly like a quilting seam, SEAMINGLY.sane, SANE. I'll link her below. She has an Etsy shop and she has an Instagram, and I saw that she posted her bag pattern, and I was like, that's super duper cute. So I bought the pattern and I made a bag. So here it is. It's called the Seemingly Sane Pouch. And it has, so this is Essex linen, and it has the little handle here. And I love that it's quilted. I love that texture. And I have a bunch of metal zippers, so I used a metal zipper. It calls for a plastic or like a nylon zipper, but I was able to make it work with the metal one. And then it has accent fabric, so I actually have two different ones. I bought this fabric for my sister-in-law who is about to graduate nursing school to make her pouch. So I actually finally made that this past Christmas and gave it to her. And I had leftovers and it was enough for this. So I have the EKG on this side. And then this side I fussy cut. I had just enough to fussy cut the word nurse. And then my little fabric tag. It says handmade. And my name. Oops. There we go. So I absolutely love it. I am using it in my bag for school as just a motivator. Like, you can do it. One day you will actually be a nurse. And then, so let me take out all my junk. Inside, I just went with the accent kind of red color since there's red on both sides. And there's this bright red and white circle fabric. So I love it. And it came together really quickly. I did it all in one night. It was like less than 3 hours. And now that I've done it, and it was so easy, and I'm so happy with the results, I'm actually making a batch of them, about 8 of them. And I'm probably going to list them in my Etsy shop and on my Instagram. So if you're interested, give me a follow. I'll put my link down below. And I'll let you know when I post them. Okay, let's see, what else? Oh, okay, so some of you have found me from my sister's Instagram, or my sister's Flosstube channel. She started a channel. She's got 2 videos up. It's homegrown_and_handmade, and I'll link her below. But she had a baby quilt to make for a friend who already had a baby, and she has to make a baby quilt for her son. And so she and I joined this quilt along called the Homespun Quilt Along, hosted by Modernly Morgan on Instagram. You can search the hashtag Homespun QAL Quilt Along, and there's tons and tons of people, tons of different fabric choices, which I love to see because people pick fabric I would never dream of using, or put them in different orientations I would never think of, and it's just really cool to see everyone's different designs. So I don't have anything to show you for that, other than to let you know that I'm doing it, because I'm doing the large lap size with a bunch of solid fabrics, but white's my background, and then all my colored pieces are very bright pastel-y spring colors. So if you're interested in seeing that, go take a peek on my Instagram. But next time, I will at least have blocks to show you, if not a finished quilt top, so that's exciting. And then on to the gardening. So in Michigan, that's where I live, it is finally warm and sunny. We don't see the sun for months in Michigan. It is currently like 75 degrees and sunny. And it's amazing. So I got a seed starter kit from Lowe's, just the little peat pellets. There were 72 of them. And I planted some seeds. I've had them for 3 years. Some of them didn't sprout last year. So what I did is I planted 3 of each seed and 3 seeds in each little peat pellet, because you can always thin them afterwards. So my hope is that of the 9 seeds, 1 of them sprouts. And I have my little cheat sheet here, which this is amazing. It comes with this on the cardboard because it really helps me to keep track of what I've planted. So I have planted tons of stuff. If it has the green by it, that means it's sprouted, but I haven't updated it in a couple of days, so there's probably a couple more sprouts out there. But let me tell you, if you have kids and you just want one surefire will not die plant and you have a little bit of room, go with a cucumber, because I'm pretty sure cucumbers would survive an apocalypse. I planted them and I think all 9 of them have sprouted. They're already like this tall, and it's been a week and a half. Like, to the point where I don't know what I'm going to do with them for the next month before I can put them outside tall. So we got bell peppers sprouted, soybeans, I'm sorry, cucumbers, but I do have bell peppers too. So cucumbers, soybeans, bell peppers, red onions, so that's new this year, cherry tomatoes, 2 different types of lettuces, thyme, lavender, and yeah, maybe something else, but like I said, I didn't update my sheet. Last year, I planted 6 different herbs. I planted the same 6 this year, but the only one that sprouted last year is cilantro, which is the only one I don't like. So I'm glad to see that thyme and lavender have sprouted this year. And then at the very end of, well, not the very end, but last summer, my husband and I spent the summer digging up the front garden, making it smaller because it was massive, and we're not like huge on the upkeep, especially because we have a young daughter and a dog, and we want more kids one day. So we dug it all up last year. So this year we're going to be planting it all, and I joined some gardening groups on Facebook, and it's been really cool. And so I bought some seeds from Seedville, USA on Etsy, but they also have a Facebook group, and they also have their own website, seedvilleusa.com. So here's their card, and I'll link them down below too. But I got some flowers and some edibles. So for my edibles, I got rainbow mix Swiss chard, or rhubarb, thank you, celery, because I've heard that homegrown celery has a much better taste than the stuff in the store. Not that I don't like celery from the store, but I just thought it would be neat to taste some fresh, crisp celery, and I'm pretty sure it's easy to grow, relatively easy to grow. And then I bought, for my edibles, the last 2 things were strawberries, because I really want to grow strawberries. So I bought alpine strawberries, and this is really cool, so I'm really hoping these grow. White soul strawberries. So they have little red seeds, and they are white on the outside. So I will be starting all those. And then I bought some seeds for flowering plants for the front yard, or the front garden. These 2 I bought because they were really cool. So 50, well, they're penny black flower seeds, and then black poppy seeds. And I just thought, like, how cool. Some of you might think, how weird, black flowers, but like, how cool, you never see black flowers. So, and by the way, our house is like 95% white with a little bit of brown and a smoky blue door. So I figured black and white, like, that's a classic combination. Then we've got some apricot peony aster seeds, a light, like, peachy pink color. And then these are cool. The picture does not do them justice, but it's called punching balls. They're little pink balls, and they just looked really cool on the website. So I figured, you know what, it's like $3 for a seed packet, why not? And then the last 2 I bought were red and yellow pansies and light Johnny Jump Ups. And I liked the Johnny Jump Ups because they're yellow and purple, and those are LSU colors. And my husband's going to say they're also Vikings colors. No, they're not. I bought them. They're LSU colors. And then this, I just realized was a free gift. I thought I bought it, but it says free gift at the top. Marigold seeds, which I have a poop ton of, but you know, I heard they're good for keeping bugs out the garden, and I did not have luck with the ones I bought last year sprouting and growing, so maybe I'll have some luck with that. Okay, so before I move on to, I should have done this in the cross stitch portion, but before I move on to the very last little baby thing, I just wanted to share 3 cross stitchers that are floss tubers that I really enjoy that don't get the recognition they deserve. So the first one is Carol Lee from Stitching is Elementary, and she is a first grade teacher in Georgia, which I like because I can relate to that. And she's just super sweet. I like her style. I like what she stitches. She has a video, I want to say every month-ish, 3 weeks maybe. And she also quilts too, and she shows her quilts. Her fabric choice for quilts is not exactly my style, but I still appreciate, you know, the time and the effort and the work that goes into them, so that's neat to see. And then I mentioned them earlier, but Kris and Victoria from Stitchy Fix on Flosstube. Mother-daughter duo, which is cool. And Kris also has another daughter, Lauren, and I think she's just getting into cross-stitching, but she doesn't appear on the Flosstube, or at least she hasn't yet. And then Victoria is a teacher. I can't remember what grade she teaches. I want to say like 3rd or 4th grade. And she just returned to teaching after having her daughter, Zofia. And her daughter is like 3 or 4 months old. So that's been fun because I'm a relatively new mom. I used to teach, so I can relate to all that. And then the last one is Leann from Small Town Stitches. And she is a nurse. And I'm pretty sure, she never said what school she went to. Or at least I haven't seen an episode that said that. But I'm pretty sure she went to the same school my sister-in-law goes to. She lives in Michigan, just maybe like an hour north of me, 45 minutes north of me, so that's pretty cool. And she does weekly videos, which I like, and they're pretty short. They're usually about 30 minutes. She gives you life updates. She likes to do huge, like, HAIDs, like full coverage pieces. She does not do small projects. So if you're interested in that, I know a lot of people don't, or it seems like a lot of the people I watch on Flosstube don't do big projects. It's small projects who can crank them out and you have some content. But if you like large projects, or even if you just like seeing somebody else work on them, she's a good one to check out because she's been working on a firefighter piece for her husband that's a surprise, and she's doing a Frozen piece for her daughter. So it's just really cool. And she does, what's that app? Project? Where it keeps track of your stitch count. It's for Android users. I'm sure you're yelling at me right now with the answer or the name, but whatever it is, you can Google it. She uses that app, and it's really neat to hear her say, you know, this piece got 425 stitches this week, and this piece got 2,200 stitches this month, and so that's really cool to listen to. Okay, on to the last little funny baby part. Now, my daughter is 19 months, and lately, I mean, it's obvious when she goes to the bathroom and she poops, right? I mean, you can tell when a baby or a toddler's pooping. So, you know, she does her thing. We know she's doing her thing. And then she comes over and she says poo-poo, and she's pulling on her pants and like hitting her butt. And sometimes she even goes and grabs the diaper and the wipes and says poo-poo and, you know, brings it to us. So I was like, listen, if you can tell me you have poop in your pants, it's about time you start thinking about using the big girl potty. So, I mean, and she's been doing this pretty consistently for a couple weeks now. So this summer we're going to potty train her because I'll be off of school and I'll consistently be here all day, every day with her. So we can get it done pretty quickly. So I ordered some baby toddler potty training books for her, like storybooks about talking about using the potty and big girl underwear and that kind of thing. And then I heard a lot of good things about I think it's called the oh crap method of potty training. So I ordered a book, and that should come in a day. But this one I thought was stinking hilarious. And this is a potty book. It's a picture book, so it's meant for the kids, but it's for the parents. It is absolutely for the parents. I read the reviews and all the parents were like ranting and raving about it. So I got off of thriftbooks.com, and they have an app. If you are a reader and you don't like paying full price for books and you don't mind waiting a couple years, that's a really good place to look for. It's thriftbooks.com. But anyway, so that's where I got this. It was an old library book. It is called On Top of the Potty and Other Get Up and Go Songs. And it's by Alan Katz and David Catrow. And it's all these different potty songs to the tune of songs your child probably already knows, like the ABCs and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and Yankee Doodle and Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and it is hilarious. I sang most of these to my husband last night. I will not. Okay, I'm gonna sing you one song. There's like 3 or 4 really good ones in here, so I gotta pick and choose. And let me just forewarn you, I cannot sing. I don't hit right pitches, and I'm off key and all that good stuff, so keep that in mind if you're choosing to continue this Flosstube video. Okay, do we do song to the tune of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, On Top of Old Smoky, to the tune of Yankee Doodle, or to the tune of If You're Happy and You Know It? Let's go with Frankie Noodle. So I'm going to show you the picture. I won't show you the words, but I'm just going to very poorly sing you the song. If you are in this stage of life, or you know somebody in this stage of life, you might want to get this book for them. It was like $4, I think, used. It's hilarious. Without further ado, Frankie Noodle, to the tune of Yankee Doodle. Frankie Noodle sat right down, right upon the potty, and he made a pee and poop in front of everybody. Frankie Noodle, what a kid! Everyone was clapping. Bet you can't guess what he did or what else soon would happen. Frankie Noodle stood and bowed, but he wasn't done there. To the horror of the crowd, he sprayed on everyone there. Here's a lesson I have learned, thanks to that small fella. Watching someone potty train, don't forget your umbrella. So, just like, I don't know why I'm cracking up so much. I'm normally not a potty humor person, but the songs in there just absolutely killed me. So I hope that gave you a little laugh or a chuckle at my expense. But until next time, guys, happy stitching, happy quilting. I hope you find some joy in life and you get out there and you enjoy the sunshine. Bye.